Are you having trouble sleeping lately? I know I am, with anxiety about everything. So I was curious to find out about the SleepHub from Cambridge Sleep Sciences. It's a premium white noise machine that actually reprograms your brain while you sleep to put it into the correct sleep phase. Seriously. So, dear viewer, please join me, James Bruce, with MakeYourself.com reviews today as I invite you into my boudoir to see if the SleepHub really works to improve your sleep using sound. Spoiler alert, it's definitely doing something. So first up, what qualifies me to comment on this sort of science? Formally, I don't have any relevant qualifications, of course. I'm not a sleep scientist, but I have spent much of my life researching sleep. From a very young age, I kept dream diaries and I dabble in lucid dreaming. Now, this involves a lot of learning about sleep cycles, when dreams are likely to occur, what sort of things will prevent that, how to dream more and how to remember your dreams better. So I'm broadly familiar with the science of sleep, and I'd like to think that I'm also smart enough to sort through the pseudoscience and tell you honestly if something is nonsense or not. You have what Cambridge Sleep Sciences calls pure tones, though you might be more familiar with the term binaural beats, monaural beats, or even isochronic tones. They're all very similar concepts, but basically you have two sound waves that play a particular tone, and those sound waves will be different, and the difference corresponds to the frequency that your brain operates on during various cycles. The idea being that by playing different frequencies you can induce a brain state, sort of synchronize your brain up to the difference. And that's the secret sauce that you get in the SleepHub device. The way that it will modulate those frequencies at the right times to induce the ideal cycles of sleep. Now again, you could just get a deep sleep tones track from Spotify, but that doesn't help you to get a full night's sleep because you shouldn't be deep sleeping the whole night. The REM stage is critical to memory function. In as far as the brain has different sleep stages and it cycles through those stages each night in increasing frequency, the science is well established. Tracking of various sleep stages is very much possible even with consumer hardware, and it's been shown that as you get further into your sleep, your REM stage lengthens, which is why dreaming occurs more in the latter stages of the night and why getting a minimum 7 hours is essential for optimal brain function. Because you really need your dreams in order to tidy up the brain, to shift things into long-term memory, to play back the events of the day, that sort of thing. It's also been shown that the brain does operate at different frequencies during each different stage of sleep. So essentially how alert or awake it is. The brain activity during REM is much like it is in normal life, which makes perfect sense. Dreaming is after all, the exact same neural activity as you would have in waking life. The only difference is that your body is paralyzed and your critical thinking is reduced, hence why most people don't know that they're dreaming. Whereas in deep sleep, the whole brain literally slows down and operates on a much lower frequency. What's less well established scientifically is whether your brain can be induced into a state by using those frequency tones. Specifically, the process is called auditory brainwave entrainment. And there have been a number of small-scale studies into their effectiveness, both on the sleep side of things with delta waves inducing more deep sleep, and on the wakefulness side of things with theta waves inducing better memory recall. Now again, these aren't massive, large-scale studies, it's a pretty niche topic, but it does appear that brain entrainment through audio is possible. I will add, however, a quick note here that when it comes to adjusting your mood, your emotions, things like using binaural beats to make you feel better, the science is more clear that that's completely a placebo effect. It doesn't happen, basically because frequencies have no relevance to emotions, only to operating frequencies of your brain, not to emotions. But for the sake of entrainment, to make the brain operate at a specific frequency during specific sleep stages, I do think there's some solid evidence for it. Now, while I couldn't find any published papers done by the Cambridge Sleep Science team specifically, their website does mention an independent study done to verify the effectiveness in which they claim for people who had a history of at least 3 months of insomnia, 92% of those saw an improvement on average of 155 minutes more time asleep, 76 minutes less time awake, and 55% reduction in times that they were awoken during the night. So that's some impressive data. And they're about to do another clinical trial to validate those results, which will be published.